In this video, I want to show you what it's like actually using a Gateway Junior NP-1 toy sewing machine in practice. Now, what I'm doing is putting what I'm calling false quilting on squares that are later going to be pieced together. And I want to show you something. You can see the stitching on this square. And it's kind of a beige. It's a very fine stitch. That is done with a Model 20. And I had started these before I got to the whole Sewing America thing. Now, the spool sizes I have to use on the Gateway happen to already have Singer buttonhole thread on them. It's actually a wonderful all-purpose thread, but it's not made in America. But this is where, now this one is done with the Gateway, and look at how much larger. So I'm going to mix them, but you see how you can get a different effect, not only with the two different machines. Singer 20s really do make a very fine stitch anyway, which is typical of Singer things. And then the contrast with them won't be a bad thing in the quilt. So, but in practice, the Gateway is just a little bit annoying. When I use a Model 20, it's got a shorter presser foot, and both presser feet are attached, I believe, the Singer 20 is. And you can't take them off, so you can't adjust them. The Gateway, because of the way the feed dogs are, you have to have the fabric almost always to the back of the presser foot, which means you're starting way over 1/4 of an inch in to put stars on here. Now keep in mind you also need to work from the back of the fabric so that the chain stitch effect shows up on the front. And I actually have this machine on my ironing board with all the squares right here. And so I can just, when I get the chance to come over here and do one with stars, I can come over and do some stars. It's actually not a bad machine to use, but because I'm used to always having adjustable presser feet, or, I mean, not really on the Model 20, but at least that, the feed dogs are set up differently, and you can start closer to the edge of the fabric. On this one, you really can't. But it makes a beautiful stitch. And it looks so pretty on this type of fabric. It really has a nice old-fashioned look. But you can see how far in I had to start. So that's one of the only drawbacks to this. But because these are going to be pieced with 1/4 inch, it probably won't be that noticeable in the finished quilt. I don't know how to get around that, I don't know how to get around it. I've been trying to keep the fabric closer to the edge, and it just doesn't move. And then you run into a problem with the thread. So even that, it would have preferred to have more fabric to move more slowly. I mean, more quickly when it started up. So I have to use up this Singer thread, and then I'll be buying a cone of some other kind of thread. I think star thread is still made in the United States, but I'm not sure. I'll look into that when I run out. Very easy to add these to any fabric, and in fact, I'm thinking I might change this from a full-size quilt to a wall quilt of it'll be 49 stars, and then on the back will be the flag, which will stand for the 50th star. So it's fun to do. It's easy. You know, whenever you walk by and you have an extra minute, you can do a few stars. And it's the Gateway NP-1 Junior.